Welcome everybody to the Lusty Lounge. Come on in, take a seat, get your drinks in order. Today I have with me, as always, Alt.
Hi.
And Minka.
Hello.
And this week we are special enough to have a guest, Oh My Gelfling.
Hi. I'm Oh My Gelf. I am a sex worker and I work on OnlyFans, which, you can find in my Instagram bio.
Alright, so, just to start the conversation off pretty easily, where did you come up with the name Oh My Gelf?
Oh, God, okay. So, it's actually, it started off as Gelfling, but obviously over the time that I was on Instagram and TikTok and things like that, I was getting banned left, right, and centre, so I had to change the name up every time I made a new account. So, it got shortened to Oh My Gelf. But Gelfling was originally a nickname that my mum used to call me when I was little. And I just kind of ran with that and kept it as my sort of show name, because I didn't want to put my actual name all over the internet and stuff, for safety reasons and things like that. So yeah, I just kind of I couldn't really come up with anything new because I am not that kind of creative. But yeah, I already had that, and I was like, I might as well just use it. So yeah, that's where that comes from. But it's basically, Gelfling is a mythical creature, I guess you would call it, from a film called The Dark Crystal.
Oh my god. Oh, I feel like I should know that. We studied that movie.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film, and yeah, it's by Jim Henson, and it's now a Netflix series, which I haven't watched yet because I don't want to ruin the childhood memories that I have of the film,
Yeah, nothing can compare to nostalgia.
Yeah, so I don't want to break that view that I have of it by watching a sucky series. I mean, it might not be sucky, but I can't take that risk.
I've heard not the best.
Oh my god, no. See, I'm already disheartened just hearing that.
Does your mom know that you use the nickname she gave you?
So one of we don't really talk anymore, and that was kind of one of the reasons why I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna use this name. I was like, it's not a cute thing anymore. I was like, it's fine.
Okay.
If she finds out, I'm sure she'd be fine with it though, because my mum was very liberal. She's a very open person, so yeah.
Yeah, I feel like those things usually go one way or another, where they're like, oh yeah, my parents don't care, they find it funny, or no, they hated it, so I haven't told them, or whatever. So
yeah, I definitely find that I have sort of one parent on both sides of those spectrums. I haven't told my dad yet because I feel like if he knows, he will freak out, but I haven't told my mum yet just because we don't talk, and she's kind of a bitch, so. But yeah, that is one thing that, she would be cool with, I think, because she used to be a burlesque dancer herself, so.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, she was more into she liked to sort of put herself on a bit of a pedestal and call it the classy kind of sexual entertainment, but yeah.
Right, that kind of elitist, I'm not sleeping with people, I do the other kind of adult entertainment. It's no, you were still a sex worker.
Yeah, exactly. You still get your titties out on stage. Let's not put ourselves above anyone, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but to be fair, she is pretty open. She likes to make herself out to be more open than she is. But yeah, this is not a mommy issues hour, so.
Oh, trust us. We have so many issues that we dive into way too often.
I mean, to be fair, yeah.
This is our open little corner.
If it's called Lusty Lounge, I mean, I suppose, you're gonna have some mummy issues thrown in there, right?
Yeah, we've got to be messed up to be this lewd.
Yes.
How long have you been doing OnlyFans?
How long? Okay, so I have been in this sort of work for about 3 years now. I actually started on a website called Admire.me,
Okay.
which is like a British version, but it never really like took off massively. Like, it's used, but it's not as big as OnlyFans, you know. I started off doing it about 3 years ago. Sort of did it kind of half-ass at first, and it was only sort of like a couple of years ago that I really like started stepping up my work and actually putting effort into it, you know. And now I'm doing it full time, and it's my full-time job.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, is if you make enough money to live off of it now. So that's awesome that you do.
Yeah, it contrary to popular belief, it took quite a bit of hard work to actually like earn a living from it, but yeah, I make a pretty good living from it now, so.
Yeah, bringing that up, I feel like that is a big misconception, is people are like, oh, you're going to sell pictures of your body and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you're just going for the easy money. And it's like, no, that's not easy. That's a lot of hard work, especially if you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah, I would definitely say that is the biggest misconception that I run into a lot. And it's mostly just from people who haven't really took the time to think about the amount of work that actually goes into what I do. You know, they just all they see on the surface is like the pictures that I upload to my Instagram, or like videos that I'll upload to my TikTok, you know. They don't see all of the work that goes on to actually run the site and like set up uploads, sort of deal with customs, like message people all day, like every day, you know, and like just owning a business, like all the stuff that goes into that.
What? Running a business is difficult? No way.
I imagine your work-life balance is not super great.
Yeah, it's it can be difficult, but like obviously I'm realistic in the sense that I can see why people sort of have that first glance and then just like immediately think, oh, you don't have to work hard, all you do is like upload a picture of yourself and then people give you money. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I wish that's how it worked, but yeah, it's really not.
Would you like to explain like what your process is from like idea to post?
Honestly, half of the time it's just something that kind of comes off on the fly. Like, say if it's a TikTok, I won't really work that hard on many ideas. A lot of the stuff will just be like, you know, miming sounds and stuff and making easy ideas out of it with captions and stuff. But any of the like the funnier stuff is more just sort of stuff that comes when I'm like scrolling through TikTok and I'll see a video and I'll just sort of have my own idea about it. But then for my content, it's more of I mostly go with what I would want to see, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
Like, as a consumer, you know, if I was scrolling around, like, what is it that would make me sort of click on something and be like, okay, I'm curious to look at that. Like, I'm curious enough to sort of scroll further through that and see what that is. So, like, with, for instance, the Shigo cosplay that I did, you know, I just wanted to make that something that I know, like, a lot of people would have wanted to see. Because, you know, we all have big old crushes on Shigo.
Mm-hmm.
They came later. I don't know. Okay, watching Kim Possible as a... Fuck, I'm 27. Whenever I was in high school, was like, yeah, Kim, enter college. Why was I looking at Kim? Shigo was right there the whole time. Kim's mom was right there the whole time. I'm like, I made an error.
Like, I can't
Oh, yeah.
relate. I was just sat there, like, watching all three of them, like, something's happening to me, and it's definitely not something straight.
Oh, 100%.
There's just something about those characters. I think they knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Just like Pixar knows what they're doing now with their models.
Okay, you know what? No. Well, no. I am going to pull up a Twitter video that made me go, you know what? Pixar had no idea they were throwing darts at a board and seeing what stuck. I gotta find that video, but that's gonna be later.
If it's from Twitter, then I would be concerned.
It's a dude showing all the Pixar's mom's butts and going, you think this is a nice butt? And I'm like, that's a car. No, I don't think that's a nice butt. That is a whole car.
I don't know,
Angel's
though.
mom has nothing.
Those cars, in cars, like, some of them were kind of cute.
Yeah,
They got
I'm
some
with
nice
Gelf
curves.
on this one.
Right?
Did I hear what I think I just heard?
Hey, yeah, no, I'm not even.
You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to explain
You
yourself.
don't.
Not to us.
It's fun to watch you try. Well, you know what? I've played the Neptunia series. I can't really say a whole lot. And I'm playing as your lane, so I still really can't say a whole lot.
So are Instagram and TikTok the only two social media you really use?
No. So I also use Reddit and Twitter. I just don't really post that often, because the majority of, like, my sort of subscribers come from TikTok and Instagram. I should probably start using Reddit more, because that is a pretty good advertisement tool for people in the industry, but I honestly, like I told you guys earlier, I am really bad at technology, and Reddit just confuses me. So
I feel that. Like, I've never really gotten into Reddit. I honestly didn't even know that it was a platform that sex workers would advertise on until you just told me. So
yeah, no, I like that. I'm not going to call myself a sex worker anymore. It's just sex people. I love that. I'm just a sex person. But yeah, I didn't know that either, to be fair. I didn't really know much about Reddit. And then when I got on it and started scrolling through it, obviously immediately started searching for things that would relate to what I would be posting about. And I was shocked. I had been on Twitter and I was still shocked with what Reddit had to offer. There is just everything on there, really, isn't there?
Yes, Reddit is a hellfire all its own.
It's
Well,
you can get lost on there if you're not careful. You just get, like, lost wandering around things, and then you scroll onto something that you just don't want to see.
it's like barely a step up from 4chan.
Barely.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on 4chan. That is just, like, a bad place.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
But yeah, I can see what you mean. Like, I could definitely see Reddit going that way.
Speaking of content, what kind of content do you do?
You obviously we're talking, like, spicy content here, right?
Yes.
All content.
Yeah.
Can't fucking speak today.
Well, so, like,
We can start with what kind of content you do on TikTok and then move over to OnlyFans.
TikTok, I guess I just kind of try and post what I can relate to and what I can enjoy. So obviously I try and put a bit of humor into what I do on TikTok, because the thing is, when you're posting on TikTok, you're not, like, advertising your wares as you would as a business. So it's not like you're posting about a thing. You're putting your personality across. So it really is just like having a personal social media, but you do kind of have to throw in some, like, well-made and, like, you know, thirst traps and things like that. So a lot of my content on TikTok is just either thirst traps or just troll humor. And then obviously the content on my Instagram gets a little more sort of spicy. And then
Instagram spicy.
yeah, like, still safe for Instagram, and for like social media, but a little spicier than TikTok.
You can post straight up porn on Twitter, so
Yeah,
like,
that's true. I don't.
Instagram's not quite that porn friendly though. So
Well, and Twitter's not probably gonna be a safe place for too long.
Yeah, here's the thing about Twitter is that a lot of people in this industry, well, a lot of the girls who will like come into this industry brand new will fall into the trap of like posting their full-on porn on Twitter because they think, oh well, that's what everyone else is doing, that's how people are getting views, that's how people are, getting seen on Twitter, and it's like they fall into this sort of, how am I going to get seen on Twitter without posting the absolute most of myself, because that's what I'm competing with. They see all of this other porn on Twitter and they're like, oh my god, I've got to post something like that. And really, Twitter just isn't that great, like, as an advertising platform, because of all of the free porn on it now. Like, it's like going on to Pornhub and then posting a video that people have to pay for, whereas there's all these other videos that are already there, so...
Mm-hmm.
that's fair.
I don't favour Twitter, which is why I don't post on it as much, because it really doesn't do as much as people think it does.
You taking notes, Puce?
yes.
Good.
I just thought, that might be handy information for anyone out there, like, any, like, new sex workers, it's just, it's not actually that great a platform, and you're better off, like, taking to Reddit, Instagram, TikTok. They do better.
Yeah, so that's kind of what you're doing. Well, we got off on a tangent a little bit about Twitter.
Yes.
But you've said the content is kind of what you want to see, but like you mentioned earlier that you did a Shigo cosplay. So do you do a lot of like cosplay content for your OnlyFans? Like, do you have a specific kind of genre that you're going for aside from just like kind of what you want to see?
So I would say for me, I guess the way most people would view it is kind of sub-dom content. I am on both scales. I'm a switch, so that means I am a submissive and a dominant. So yeah, I get a bit of a variety, but mostly people want to see me in a sub position, really. So most of my content is pretty submissive. I like a lot of I do a lot of JOI content, which I don't know if you guys know, but that is jerk off instructions.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool, yeah. And then so like all of the content that'll be on like my main page on OnlyFans is sort of like short videos, pictures and things like in the cosplays and stuff like that, and then I'll sort of bring out like a bigger video, like if it's something that's interesting, I'll bring it out as like a PPV, which is pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Shigo cosplay,
Right. Because you want to make sure that you're having fun making it too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't like to force myself to make videos every month. So that's why I don't have it, like, just as a schedule thing. Like, I don't sort of pressure myself to bring out a full video, like, every month or anything like that. I just sort of do it when I have the idea, or when I feel like doing, that kind of video. So it is it definitely goes more based on my urges.
Yeah. Well, and like, because you can tell when somebody's not really into what they're doing, and so like, obviously, if you were to try to force yourself, you probably wouldn't get as many like sales on those particular ones. I mean, you might, because, unless you were doing it constantly, then people might not realize it. And truth be told, a lot of the people that are there to just jerk off don't really care if you're into it. But I feel like there are a lot of people that are kind of, millennial age that are more in tune with people and like tend to be able to see some of that stuff and empathize with it more. So if you're not into it, like usually it's going to at least come across a little bit.
100%. I mean, definitely. One of the reasons that these people come to you, especially like when I found like people who come to you for custom content, like they're looking to you because obviously it's something that they don't feel comfortable talking to like someone in person about, or they've not had the opportunity to talk to someone in person about, so they want someone who is going to enjoy it as much as them. Because I mean, if you're not, that's going to ruin it for them, right? It's and yeah, I think you're right, there is something about people that they can just tell when you're not into it. And I mean, there are sex workers that are very good at putting on a show.
For sure.
Because, a lot of girls have found themselves, like, faking it anyway from having rubbish partners in the past. But, like, yeah, I definitely just wouldn't force myself to do it if I wasn't enjoying it. Because not only are they going to be able to tell that, I'm not enjoying it properly, but it's also going to put me off doing my job for, like, ever. If I'm putting myself in a situation where, like, I'm just really not actually enjoying it, like, yeah, that's just going to make me not feel positive about my job and, like, actually enjoy what I'm doing. Like, I won't take custom requests of things that I'm not personally myself going to enjoy. So, like, mostly peeing stuff, which, is a totally valid kink, and, like, I get it. I can sort of see the reasoning behind it. I don't personally have that kink, though, so, like, I wouldn't enjoy taking part in it. And that's why I, like, if someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I would really like a video of, like, a golden showers kind of thing, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, that's on my no list, like, but I'm never judgmental about it, that's the thing.
Right, your kink is not my kink, and that's okay.
Yes, exactly, yeah, like, there's some things, there's quite a few things that I've had to turn down in the past, and it's mostly things like CNC, which is
consensual non-consent.
Yeah, consensual non-consensual. And the main reason I turned that down, despite sort of had dabbled in it myself, and I can personally see the appeal of it. The reason I turn that down is because, like, honestly, I feel like it's kind of a grey area in terms of the law. Like, in terms of that kind of content, like...
Yeah, I could see that, because, like, if you're doing it in private, in person, like, that is a little more understandable, but when all of a sudden it's, like, making videos or pictures, like, I feel like that could, be a little more gray.
It's kind of like walking the line between making a movie and making, like, a snuff film, like, it's a little bit of a line that I don't want to cross. Like, I don't want to put myself in any position where, like, people are going to be knocking at my door like, this is illegal. So, yeah, there's things like that I've had to turn down, but I'm always, respectful about it. I'm always like, look, the only reason I can't do this is because, this is why I won't do it. I'm really sorry that, like, I can't create something that you would really like, but, and if there's another way that I can sort of help with, like, something close to what they've asked for, I'll offer it, But, like...
Yeah, I think that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, like, someone, like, I try not to go into too much, like, specific details about people's messages and things, but Like, for instance, I've had a couple of people ask about somnophilia content, which, again, it kind of walks a grey area in that, you know, there's another person involved and I'm, like, I would essentially be, like, asleep, you know, air quotes, asleep.
Right.
So I sort of worked around that in being like, look, I can do a thing where I'm kind of, like, asleep and, like, I'm sort of, like, you know, sleep entertaining myself. And then I wake up and I see that you're there and then I carry on anyway. That's like a workaround. So, like, I offered to do it that way instead.
So, I mean, I already know the answer to this because you've basically explained it, but just to be crystal clear, like, even as a sex person, it's still important for you to hold to your soft limits and your hard limits.
Definitely, yes. And again, I feel like that's something that, you know, baby sex people who come into the industry will kind of feel like they have to drop those boundaries in order to make anything of themselves in the industry. And, like, that's obviously, like, a really dangerous view to have on it, you know, that you have to do something for people just to make that money so that, you know, they won't think, oh, well, they just refuse to do anything, you know. But, yeah, like, if there's something that you don't enjoy, just don't do it, you know. There's always going to be someone else out there that can do that for them, and there's always going to be someone else out there that is happy with what you will and won't do. So, you know, you don't need to, like, break your boundaries to please anyone.
Right. And just the mentioning of, like, there's someone else who will do it, that brings up another point where sex work is not a competition, right?
No. I don't view it as a competition. The way I see it is, in order to have competition with it, you would have to have, like, a limit on supply and demand. So, for instance, say you have two supermarkets and both of them sell the same thing, and everyone wants it. Obviously, they're going to sell out fast and there's going to be no supply. But the way I see sex work is that literally every person is different, and every girl or man or they, you know, the he, she's, they's, any other pronouns that I'm missing out, I'm not great with that. Anyone in this industry they're all different. So, and every person who is consuming the industry wants a different thing. Yeah, there's like vague niches, you know, that a lot of people are into the same thing, but in terms of another person, like physically looking at another person, everyone wants a different thing. So the demand will always be bigger than the supply. Yeah. And I hope that any of that made sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, you know, we're doing a podcast here, which we're still, you know, within our first year of it. I did YouTube for a while. I technically have an OnlyFans. I just haven't done anything with it yet. But, like, I feel like, especially with my time on YouTube, that was a thing I learned where it's just like, no, you're getting into this, and if you think about it as a competition, you're gonna burn out. You're gonna just be stressed and depressed about it all the time. It's just, no, just go on there to put out something that you enjoy putting out, because there's always going to be some people that like it and some people that don't. And so, yeah, like, it can be hard because sometimes you may not see the numbers. And so if you were like, oh, I really want to do this as a full-time job or something, again, like you said, there's a lot of hard work. It took you 3 years to get to this point. You can't go into these types of things and just be like, oh, I just quit my job. Okay, I'm going to dedicate everything to doing OnlyFans or YouTube and expect to suddenly be making enough to live on.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, it took a lot of hard work, and I couldn't just, like, immediately be like, oh yeah, I'm making enough money now to live on, like, after a night of posting nudes, you know? So, But yeah, I don't see it as I'm competing with other people because of that. Like, there's always going to be someone out there who finds me attractive. There's always going to be people out there who don't find me attractive. And honestly, like, it really helped boost my confidence when I started doing this job, because it really drove that home. Because one thing that I hated about myself when I started doing this job was my boobs. And I've just had a boob job, and I'm really happy with them now. But yeah, I was like really self-conscious, and that was something that I realized after starting this job, is that actually there was a whole niche for people who liked saggy boobs, and that really made me realize that there is no competition out there. And scrolling through Reddit made me realize there is absolutely no competition out there, because there is some want for everything. Like, there is demand for everything. There is not one thing that you could think of that people don't want porn of.
Well, and I imagine you get this in the UK too, but like in America, we have a big issue with advertisers constantly using super fit, super skinny models. And so I know for a lot of like larger girls and larger people, like they think, oh, nobody's ever going to want to look at me. But like you just said, there are people who are into everything. And so there are girls out there that are larger that do extremely well on like OnlyFans and stuff.
One thing that I would recommend is just get on Reddit, like if this line of work is something that people want to do and are still like self-conscious about themselves, like go to Reddit and just search your niche. Like, for real, there is pages upon pages, like, just worshipping everyone's body type, everyone's gender, everyone's like personality. There's a market for literally everything. So yeah, it is really nice to see. It's an inclusive industry.
Which is fantastic. But I feel like I'm talking a lot, so I should let these two put some time in.
No, it was good. I was enjoying listening to you guys go back and forth.
You're not here to be voyeurs.
Started messaging Pius like, "What's up, bud? How you doing?"
You're co-host on we're co-hosts. You're not voyeurs. Come on.
That's how fun groups go. Some people, sometimes friends just like click a little bit for like 5-10 minutes, and you just gotta let them go.
Well, and we both have ADHD, so we could go on forever, I bet.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like, I will just start talking and then never stop, so you do have to like just stop me and interrupt me and be like, hey, other people have voices.
Yeah,
See, Alt hates the tangents. I love them. If we go on a conversation that goes from sex work all the way to nothing,
when they get too long, that's when I'm like, ayo, stop. Or when there's too many of them.
Yeah.
Nah.
But people like us can info dump for a really long time if we're excited.
Yeah, seriously, that was going to go on for like 3 hours if no one interrupted.
Because like, I got like 7 questions since you answered like 2 of them. I'm like, cool. Just crossing those off the list.
We got through 2, so that's good.
I mean, they were supposed to have questions prepared. I don't know if they did or not.
I have been asking questions this whole time.
Okay, but did you make a list?
No, because I already knew what questions I had.
Well, I need to make lists because I work 10 hours a day and I forget shit because I got to memorize numbers and throw boxes.
Do I make lists? No.
I like lists.
Who needs lists?
To be fair.
I mean, they do help a lot of people with ADHD because if you have it written down, then you can remember it.
Yeah, that's all well and good though, until you lose the list.
That's why you put it on your phone.
Until you lose your phone.
Don't lose your phone. We've got GPS tracking. We've got GPS tracking now.
My ADHD is cured. Just don't lose it.
Okay, wait, listen. My supervisor told me that just to hear better, and I almost punched him in the face.
Yeah. Do you know how many times I have been sitting in the same spot in my bed for hours, and the amount of times that I have had to get out of bed to find my phone during that time because I have completely lost it and cannot find it while I'm sitting there?
And it's like in your hands.
It is. It is plugged into the wall next to my bed. If it's longer than 6 feet, it's not leaving the bed unless I'm leaving my room. So I have 3 6-foot USB-C cables.
Oh, I've got a super quick tangent then.
I'm just old school and I have extension leads.
But when you guys are laying in bed, just before you fall asleep, do you ever have like that waking sleeping moment where you think you're playing on your phone and then you like snap out of it and your phone's been sitting on the charger next to your bed the whole time?
Yes.
I haven't had that specific like thing happen, but I do have like the awake sleepiness thing.
I've had it kind of where, like, my eyes will be closed and, like, obviously it'll just be black, but then, like, I'll start to, like, picture my phone screen scrolling through TikTok, and then I'll wake up and open my eyes and realize that, like, I just had my eyes closed. I wasn't actually scrolling through my phone.
TikTok is the devil.
It really is.
See, it doesn't even have to be TikTok for me. It could be me playing like a stupid mobile game, and then I suddenly like open my eyes and there's no phone in my hand. I'm like, where'd my phone go?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I do that sometimes with crochet.
Like you imagine you're like doing crochet and then you like snap out of it and you're not doing crochet?
Honestly, I would put that down to dissociating, because you're going to be doing things that you don't realize you're doing because you're dissociating, and then all of a sudden you come back, whether it's because you started to fall asleep or whatever, and you come back and you're like, oh, I don't remember moving that over.
No, I'm pretty sure I wasn't holding my phone whenever I do this.
Well, right.
Maybe you're getting the
put it
memory
down.
back.
Maybe.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Like when when you like dissociate and then like you snap out of it and you don't know what's happened for like the last 5 minutes, maybe the next time you dissociate, you're getting that memory back. So it's like,
See, Gelf? I've got the wrong issues. I've got memory that lasts like 2 seconds. For everything. Poor Alt and Minka have brought up things from a week ago, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember these conversations. You're gonna have to...
And then we screenshot them and send them to him, and he's like, oh. I'm just like, goddamn, just scroll up. Please, just scroll up.
No, I'm the same. I can remember stupid stuff, and then like I can't remember what I had to eat today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll lose shit constantly, but somebody will be like, oh, hey, what was the number of this thing at the place we were at like 2 months ago? And you'll be like, oh, it was this, and just like snap it out, and they're like, how do you remember that?
Yeah.
No. Mm-hmm. Man, I wish I even had that. I don't have that either.
That's one of the few pros and cons of ADHD, is you forget stupid things constantly, but like then you have other stupid things that you remember for like forever for no reason.
Yeah, and then like sometimes like entire people, you just forget about them.
Oh my god, right? And then you remember them and you feel so bad.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad.
That's me on my 2 days off. I forget everybody.
Yeah. Blessing and a curse, I say.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what made you want to do this?
So that's kind of... I don't even know. Like, I haven't even thought about that, really. It's kind of weird because I was introduced to, like, this industry and what it is by, well, obviously finding porn myself, like, as you do as a teenager, but also...
Whoa, you found porn? Crazy.
Yeah, like, just scrolling through the internet one day, and it just popped up, and I was like, hello. What's that?
Why do I feel so funny?
Yeah! I just saw some titties, and I was like, hey, I might be half gay. That's new.
Half gay.
But yeah, and then I was in a bad relationship with a dude, and he kind of showed me, like, what camming was. Like, he showed me it online and stuff like that, and I was still pretty young at this age. But yeah, when I broke up with that guy, it was kind of like I had nothing to do with my life because I'd been with him for a long time, and, like, kind of relied on him for everything. And I'm physically disabled. I have a chronic pain disorder, so I couldn't really hold down a proper job, and I knew that this existed as an option. Mm-hmm. And personally, I had always felt pretty in touch with, like, my sexuality and my, like, being sexual, and and I thought I was pretty good at it, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll start off modeling. And I did that. I did a few photo shoots here and there, and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll just I'll dive into it, because at that point, I didn't have anything to lose, really. I was on benefits for my disabilities and things like that, and was kind of struggling. So I was like, it's not like I'm gonna go into a normal job anytime soon, so I might as well give it a go. And as I say, I kind of started it part-time, noticed that I was making a little bit more money on top of what I was making every month, and then a few of my videos sort of blew up, and I found myself working harder at it to like keep up with the few subs that I had at that point. And then it just gradually got to the point where I was purely working harder at it because I was noticing that I was getting more popular, I was getting more subs, things like that. And it just kind of turned into a full-time job in the end. It was a bit unintentional. It was just initially for some pocket money, you know? So I suppose, to sum up, I was broke.
Like most of us.
And I didn't want to work for anyone. I wanted to work for myself. And I also was at a stage where I was trying to take back control of like my sexuality and my body and things like that after some garbage man had destroyed it. So
yeah, for sure.
You know, it was really empowering, actually, and I would not change it for the world.
So just on that, because you have mentioned twice how it's like actually really helped your image of yourself and stuff, I feel like that is a big concern of a lot of people too who are thinking about doing it, but it's the idea that you are selling yourself. You know, you're not selling, like you said, a product, you're selling yourself. So do you ever have those issues, or like how often do you run into people who like just are assholes and come on and they're like, oh well, blah blah blah, like point out something that they don't like about you? Like, does that actually bother you, or because you have so many people on the other side that are like, oh yeah, I'm really into this, that like it doesn't get you? Because I do know, just psychological wise, that negative statements tend to stick with you more than the positive, unfortunately. So like how do you feel about all that?
So that's a really good question. I think for people it can go like both ways, you know. So personally, I have pretty thick skin when it comes to people that I don't know insulting me, because it just, I don't know, it just doesn't really bother me. I think it used to a lot more than it does now, but I was bullied throughout school and things like that, you know, so it's kind of sad, but like at this point I'm used to it, you know. I was like, yeah, I was bullied in high school, like you can't really say anything that's going to offend me now, you know. I've heard it all before. I mean, as I say, one of the things was that when I started my job, I realised that a lot of people actually really liked the way I looked, and that obviously there's gonna be days where like it's gonna hit you harder than some other days. I do have days definitely where like I'll scroll through some mean comments and it'll affect me, you know, and I'll think a bit badly of myself, but
so it's not going to like cure your self-image problems, but like it has a potential to possibly help bring that up if you're able to kind of block out the random opinions of strangers that really don't mean anything.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, it's not something that I would like recommend to people as a way of like boosting your confidence if you're someone who is unconfident, but I would say that it did help with me, and that if you are someone who is like, for the most part, able to just sort of bat off other people's opinions, you know, then yeah, it's definitely something that can help prepare your self-image. Because I think for me, like, the low self-image was more of a I was telling myself that I didn't like my image. It wasn't that other people had told me that they didn't like my image. It was all coming from me.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I was able to kind of like block it out and be like, yeah, I don't really care what strangers think about me. But yeah, it's, as I say, I feel like it can go either way. So,
Mm-hmm.
I've known people try and do this job, they'll try and get into it, and then because, they don't get anywhere immediately, or like they'll get like a few hate comments, they'll want to give up because they'll all of a sudden have this awful image of themselves, and I've seen it have really devastating, results for people who are very much not body confident with themselves. But I would also say that you don't have to be 100% in love with your own image to do this job.
Awesome.
Okay. There's hope for people.
Yeah, I wasn't. When I started out, I definitely wasn't 100% confident with my image at all. But there was ways around that for me, I could pose in a certain way that would hide the insecurity that I had, things like that. But after a while, I found myself not trying to hide those parts because, people had literally pointed out those parts to me and said, hey, I find that part of you, like, really attractive. And I'm thinking, like, oh, like, I hated that, and you're telling me that this whole time you've enjoyed that? Like, okay. That's great. And then all of a sudden I find that in the pictures that I'm posting, I'm not covering that part up. Because, I've had 1 or 2 comments from people saying, actually, we really like that part.
Yeah, I tend to have a very romanticized view of the world. And
Man.
well,
Man.
even I have to with my depression, okay?
Valid.
But, like through the pandemic, especially these past handful of years, like past 5 years, so pre-pandemic as well, we've seen a lot of, sadly, the worst of people because those people have been very loud. But I still truly believe that the amount of good people in this world far outweighs the bad. And
Yeah, we're just quiet.
yeah, and so I think that is something. And sadly, the bad do tend to be a bit louder. But that is good to see too, that like even in a field like sex work, that there are still those shitty people who are going to say shitty things that they should have no right to say about anybody else's body. But that is good to hear that like the good stuff does still outweigh that.
Oh yeah, seriously, like it's weird, because I think the image that people have in their head of my DMs must be like all of these creepy guys, like messaging me disgusting stuff like on OnlyFans, and like some of that is kind of dirty, but that's what I'm there for, so let's not like judge them for it. Like, I'm there to answer their dirty messages, but a lot of it really is just guys being like really sweet to me. And like just complimenting me and like just genuinely trying to have a conversation with me. Like, a lot of people just want to have that personal relationship with you, and they want to chat with you and be friends with you and stuff like that, and it's really nice.
Do you have many women that subscribe to you that you know of?
I know I have a few. I know that my subscriber base is definitely majority male.
Okay.
But I know I do have a few women dotted in there, and they usually tend to stay quiet though.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'll get a lot more interaction and like messages from men than I will from women. I think in the entire time, I think I've had like that I can obviously point out and like had in their profiles that they were women. I think 5 that I can recall I've had subscribed to my OnlyFans.
Okay.
And like one of them has like actually messaged me and like interacted with me and stuff like that, so yeah.
I wonder, like, if that still has to do with the fact that, you know, obviously for centuries, women have been more sexually repressed than men, and we're at a time where we're starting to get away from that. But, you know, like, I wonder if there's still a lot of women that are just like, no, I don't feel comfortable being open about this. Like, I'm to that point where I feel okay about, you know, subscribing to someone, but actually talking about it, I'm still like, I can't do that.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that, because I've found myself, like, I've found myself sitting there and thinking, like, I personally don't feel like I would message someone, like, if I was to be, like, scrolling through their thing, I don't think I would message them either. And it's like, it's probably for that reason. Like, I would feel like I'm doing something wrong by just being here. Like, you know, I'm not gonna like acknowledge you
every day.
I actually, from the other side of the perspective, I had one girl that I messaged once, and like immediately got it back like a "hello, sir," and I was like, nope, woman over here. Like,
I'm sorry.
No, but like,
funny. I'm sorry.
But like that, you know. So I was kind of curious about that, if that might be why just the generic like "hello, sir" was put out, because that is usually who interacts.
Yeah, I can definitely see that being a reason that it would maybe mix people up, because, as I say, for me, I definitely have a majority male fan base, and I think a lot of women in the industry do, because I think men are more likely to like actually pay and subscribe and things like that than women are, I think. So yeah, I think it is just purely an assumption that you make, because generally the person messaging you is gonna be, you know, a man. But I try to be inclusive in that sense. Like, on most of my posts, you know, I try and include men and women, and be fluid with like the pronouns that I use and things like that, like in addressing people in my captions, so that, like, you know, if a woman is scrolling through my OnlyFans, not all of the captions are going to be like based towards men, because I'm a bisexual woman myself, and I know that women follow me, and I know that women subscribe to me, so like I don't want to be putting them off by every single caption being about a man.
Yeah, just put a few good girls in there, and you'll get all of us subby women.
Yeah. See, things like that.
Do you ever do collabs, or have you pretty much exclusively done it all by yourself?
Well, I've done one official full collab, and that was with my friend Peter, aka Power Midget. She's great. That was my first girl on girl collab. And yeah, I've not really collaborated. I don't collaborate with guys, but that's a personal preference. And it's more down to like experiences that I've had with men in this industry. They've just not been great. Like, I'm sure that there are...
Yeah, we suck.
Yeah. I mean, I'm, you know, I am 100% sure that there are plenty of male creators out there who are fantastic, you know. But the only male creators I have ever met have been in this industry for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
Because, you know, for a... you know, I don't want to say like predatory, because that's the wrong word, but for a guy who is, you know, purely looking to get his rocks off, getting into this industry is, to them, obviously a surefire way of finding women to sleep with.
Right, if their goal is to get in just to do collabs. Like,
yeah.
It is kind of predatory, honestly.
Yeah, like, it's skeevy. I would say it's skeevy. But yeah, that's why I don't work with men, but also because I have a partner, you know, who I'm in a committed relationship with, who I don't feel it necessary to you know, involve other men in my work, because I have him to do it for me. So
awesome.
And he is perfectly happy and willing to, you know, help me with my work. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have a supportive partner.
Yeah, he's fantastic, to be fair.
So really quick, to put you on the spot, that collab you did, was it more from like a male gaze of girl on girl, or was it more of a like realistic, like lesbian bisexual girl on girl?
I would say a little bit of both, really, because it was definitely the kind of thing that I would have watched myself, like when I was just discovering my own sexuality. Because, so basically, I can tell you, like, the basic gist of the video. It was basically what we did was, because it was my first ever actual girl-on-girl experience. Yeah, you know, I'm reliving it now. No, it was...
Do you need a cold shower?
Yeah, I just need to get some water real quick. No, but we basically did a thing where it was a pretty cozy, like, chilled out vibe, and it was just sort of my first time with a girl, and she was, like, you know, showing me the ropes, basically.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and it was
so
nice
fun.
and it was really nice and chilled out, and to be fair, it was quite natural. We have a good vibe together, me and Peter, so we just clicked pretty easily, and yeah. I would say it sort of has a little bit of both gazes in it, for sure, because, yeah, as I say, it's something that I personally would have found myself watching.
Might have to go pay for that one. Just to check
I'm
it
not
out.
gonna lie, like, yeah, it was good, and me and Peter are definitely thinking about organising something in the upcoming month. Because obviously I've just healed from my surgery, and yeah,
Awesome.
we're thinking about getting together again, so hopefully there'll be a sequel.
Fantastic.
I was gonna make like a joke about your partner being your stand-in penis for your videos and stuff, but
He is, yeah.
wasn't sure that was appropriate.
No, he is. He, you know, he's a sport, basically. He just sort of gets in there and does what I ask, pretty much. Yeah, he enjoys it. Obviously, he gets to, you know, have a good time, and we you know, he gets paid for it, so obviously.
Awesome.
What are his thoughts on you doing sex work?
He is very supportive of it. It's, you know, he has no particular, like, I mean, he has no particular thoughts, really. Yeah, he's just very supportive of it, and he knows that, like, it's my body, and he's one of those where he knows other people are looking, and he actually kind of enjoys that, because in his mind, at the end of the day, he's like, yeah, you guys can all look at her as much as you want. I'm the one that actually gets to put my dick in her, so...
That is a very, very true perspective.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
have any of that toxic masculinity bullshit of like, oh, she's my girl and nobody else should be able to see her.
I am very lucky in well, no, I mean, it's bare minimum, really. I'm not lucky, let's not...
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, he has been brought up well by his mother, in the sense that he knows how to treat a woman, you know, and he knows that women
Are
are
people, not
owned.
property?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. He knows
Yep.
that women are people, not property, and he knows that, like, yeah, sort of putting ownership on a woman is like little bitch boy behavior.
It is.
So he's a good partner.
Yeah.
That's good.
He's a Chad.
He is a gem, yeah. But yeah, as I say, you know, he the way he sees it is like, yeah, she can show her body off to whoever she wants. It's her body, and like, obviously people are gonna look because they like it, and you know, he kind of sees it as like a compliment. Like, yeah, people are looking at my girlfriend because she's fit.
Yeah.
So you did mention that, like, his thoughts are, well, everybody gets to look, but at the end of the day, it's who I get to touch.
Yeah, exactly.
How did he feel about the collab then?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, he's totally fine with it.
I was like, is he okay with you talking about him? Should we not be asking questions about him?
No, he's cool. I mean, he stays anonymous, so like he never puts his face in anything or anything like that. But he enjoys taking part in my work and things like that. So yeah, he'll be totally fine with it. And now I forgot what the
How did he feel about the girl on girl scene?
yes. So he was totally fine with that. You know, I got permission from Peter to show him what we had done with the collab, and so, you know, he got to see what we had done, he got to watch it, and yeah, I mean, he was totally fine with that. When me and him first started dating, we were actually kind of in just like a sort of a, you know, friends with benefits mode kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on a date with a girl during that time as well, and, you know, that was all fine. So yeah, we're just kind of fluid.
So still a very much okay with it because she's fallen asleep with me sort of situation.
Yeah, like it's more of a, like, he knows that it's a work thing and that I have no sort of emotional attachment to this other person, so it's not something that he needs to worry about, you know.
Right, exactly.
So you're kind of monogamish.
Yeah, in a way. Like, I wouldn't go and see people outside of our relationship if it wasn't
Business.
Yeah, so a little bit, because we know that if it's work, there is absolutely no sort of feelings attached to it, you know, and there's no sort of anxiety on either side that, you know, anything's gonna go wrong that way. So yeah, it's
Okay. So at that point, I think it probably would be fair to call it monogamish, because, like, no, you still are only in a relationship with each other, and like you said, the rest is work.
yes,
So,
yeah.
I
But
don't
at the
wanna,
same
like,
time, yeah, I mean, it is, like, obviously I'm
I don't wanna-
sleeping with other people, like, there is
Right.
that side of it. You know, we can't
I just-
really sort of put a shade over that, but, like, he acknowledges that, so it's not like a kind of thing where he's like, if I don't know about it, I don't have to confront it, you know? Like, he knows about it, and yeah, it's more of just as I say, it's an emotional thing for us, I think.
Okay.
Right.
I feel bad for trying to put a label on a relationship, because labels usually are only bare guidelines to help our brains understand.
No, yeah, I mean, it makes sense to, like, ask those kind of questions, because I get asked that kind of question a fair bit, to be honest, you know, about my partner and about how he feels about me working and doing this job, and, you know, you'll get a fair few trolls that'll be like, yeah, well, you're just cheating on him because, you know, you're going around sleeping with other people, and it's like, well, it's not really how relationships
Cheating is
work.
going out of the bounds of what is agreed on in the relationship.
Exactly. Whereas, you know, we have sat down and talked about it and discussed our own boundaries, and yeah, we've discussed what is okay between us and what isn't okay, and, you know, we know that these are the lines that if I were to cross that, or if he were to cross that, then that would be cheating. But cheating is different for everyone. So, you know, whilst for one person, sure, maybe if you're in a relationship with someone who has an OnlyFans account and they went off and did a collaboration that you didn't discuss with them and it made you feel uncomfortable, fair enough. Or, like, if you've specifically discussed with them that them collaborating with another person would be, you know, you would feel like that was cheating, then fair enough. You know, if they went and did that anyways, that would be cheating, because you've already told them, like, I feel like that's cheating. But for us, you know, personally, he doesn't feel like me collaborating with other people is cheating, and neither do I, so we're happy with that. And yeah, I would, you know, I would always make sure that he knew about any sort of collaborations that are going on, or, you know, anything like that, that even if I've started to discuss a collaboration with someone, he knows about it straight away.
I really am so happy to hear that you've got such a supportive partner. That's fantastic.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Oh, you had more questions?
I have a bunch more questions. I had to sneeze. That shit fucking hurt a lot. I can feel my lung.
Bless you.
Thank you. It's the right one, to be particular. So, as a person with a degree in the thing I have a degree in, who the fuck takes and, like, edits all your shit?
Like my videos and stuff?
Yup,
I do that all myself, on my iPhone. Yeah.
What?
Brava.
Yeah.
What? On an iPhone?
The
Yeah.
newest
Which one-
iPhones especially have really good cameras, okay?
Shut up.
You can't
You're not
argue
making
that.
me feel better. You're right. I
iPhones
can't
are
argue
elite.
that, but you're making me feel irrelevant.
Yeah, no, I am.
Yeah, that's no word.
I mean, I wouldn't say that like my videos, like my main videos that I put out, they're not like insane, like top notch, like porn movie style quality. They're amateur videos, but they are good quality videos, and they are edited. But I can literally do all of that from my phone.
I'm gonna go sit in the corner now.
Oh, you're being phased out.
Did you
Yeah,
just
you're
find this
right.
out?
Is this why people drink?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much depression.
Welcome to this side of the world, Alt.
Man, fuck this. I don't like this.
But yeah, I mean, what I'll do is basically I'll set up a couple, because I have like 3 phones at this point. It's ridiculous. I'll set up 2 of my phones to record at different angles, and then I'll set them to record at the same time, and then I will basically send one of the videos over to the other phone, and then put them all into the video editing software on iPhone, and then I will just like splice it all together at the right time and stuff like that, which takes a while, but
Yeah. I edited our podcast. I know.
So how much do you feel you've spent on equipment to be able to do this? Like, do you have, like, obviously iPhones can be a bit expensive, but like, do you have stands and lights and that kind of stuff? Do you feel like it was expensive to get to where you are, or have you been able to do it fairly cost conservatively?
I think if we were to put all of the stuff that I have bought for my work together, like over the time that I've been doing it, it would be a lot. It would be a lot of money.
Okay.
And that's including everything, that's throwing in like sex toys as well, which sex toys cost a lot.
They do.
It is stupid. That is ridiculous. Like, that was probably the most expensive part of my job, but yeah. On like actual filming and recording equipment and stuff, I would say the bulk of it is the phone. So you want to get like a really good phone, because obviously you've got to be taking pictures and things. So I went for the iPhone 13 Pro Max like as soon as I could. And that was like that was like nearly $2,000.
1,300. Oh, $2,000. Oh, it's not $2,000 here. Jesus Christ.
I think it was like nearly $2,000. And
Well, that's also pounds versus dollars.
I always forget that.
No, we checked that earlier. 50 pounds is like fit. When did you get the phone? That's the better question.
God, I think I got this like
I
half
mean,
a
the
year ago
13's
now.
pretty new, so.
So it
No,
wasn't
the
brand
14 comes
new.
out
It
in
wasn't
like a
like
week.
it hadn't like just come out.
Man, you could have got a DSLR with that.
But to be fair,
Man,
with the camera quality, it is insane, and you do get like pretty much everything that I need to do my job is on this phone. So there's video editing software, there's like all kinds of different camera lenses, there's it's really handy for people who create content, to be fair.
Oh, no, yep, you were right. It is the other way. The pound is worth more than the dollar.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you were doing something more specialized, you would need a camera, but
Oh yeah, for
For-
sure.
good amateur work,
Yeah.
But-
an iPhone is usually more than enough.
Well, and a lot of people don't really realize that, like, the new phones with these really nice cameras are better than a lot of like medium quality SLR cameras.
hey, you were making me feel old. You were devaluing my degree. I'm gonna need you to stop.
Seriously,
Please
the
and thank
pictures
you.
that I have taken with this iPhone are insane. So yeah,
Yes.
I get some really good quality content with this iPhone, and it's I'll probably be going for the next iPhone as soon as I can, which
14's supposed to be coming out soon.
it's just
Or
come out. I
14's
think.
already out.
Yeah, it's just come out. But
Are they purple where you live too?
I think it's like a blue color. But it might be a purple. I don't know. I could just be like not seeing the color properly.
Because a clerk at my job just got one. I'm like, it's purple, so it's cool. They're like, but it's an iPhone, so it's cool. I'm like, nah, it's cool if it's purple.
Do you get Kevin Bacon advertising the iPhone where you are? Or is that just like the UK?
No.
Actually, maybe. I feel like I saw him recently.
Well, I'm a bit of an exception. I don't believe in ads, so I just got my cousin's like, here's YouTube Premium. I'm like, thanks, man. So I haven't seen an ad in like a year.
That's like my dream.
Yeah, I'm starting to not know what ads look like outside of political ads, because those suck.
Matt, you have no idea.
I just usually go and watch Cartoon Online.
The fuck is that?
It's like it's probably illegal.
Probably.
It's like
if we're being honest.
Yeah, it's like a website, you know, where you go on it and it just has like all cartoons on it.
Oh, it's like Kiss Anime, but for cartoons. Oh, okay.
It has anime on it too. That's why I watched High School DxD for the first time, and
oh fuck! You unlocked it.
Yeah, that was the first anime I ever watched.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, all right. High School DxD is great once the plot starts happening, but man, getting to where the plot needs to go, I'm like, this is not fun.
It was all just
talking about anime now.
Yeah, I mean, it was all just, you know, like big anime boobies, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on right now, but I'm here for it.
I'm gonna assume you didn't make it past season 2, because that's when shit starts popping off. You're like, oh, this has a plot? This is important?
I don't know. I mean, I think I made it up to a point where he was like battling someone on top of the school or something, and then, yeah, I don't know. It was pretty much what I can remember from it is like literally just anime tits and nosebleeds.
Yeah, it's a show.
It's a show.
It's a show. we don't talk about it anymore.
Well, I went from that to Attack on Titan, and then, you know.
What the fuck?
Wow, that was like one like end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah.
Did you like Attack on Titan?
I loved Attack on Titan. I was like hardcore into Attack on Titan, and then basically they made us wait too long for like the new season.
Mm-hmm.
And I just forgot it existed, you know, ADHD. And then eventually I heard someone talking about the new season of Attack on Titan, and I was like, oh hey, when did that come out? And they were like 6 months ago, dude. And I was like, oh.
Gelf went from watching an anime for the plot to watching an anime for the plot.
I ain't gonna say that. Just you anime only people, y'all ain't ready. Y'all not ready for that ending.
Oh no. For what ending?
Oh boy. Attack on Titan.
Oh god, no. I haven't actually seen any of the new series yet, still.
Oh.
That's because I keep telling myself, I keep being like, oh, I need to go back and like rewatch the whole of the first 2 seasons because I can't remember for the life of me anything that happens. So I need to go back and rewatch that before I watch the new stuff.
Yeah, because everything's a red herring. Everything you think you know, you don't know.
Oh no.
All I'm gonna say is Aaron's dad was right.
Oh shit.
Alright, Gelf, the real question is, do you watch One Piece?
I don't. I've never heard of that until today. Yeah,
It's okay.
I'm one of these anime people who like really I haven't had any like anime friends to like walk me through the anime world. So, you know, I just kind of dib and dab where Netflix takes me.
What?
That people in the UK don't really talk about something until it's like super popular. And even then, they're still embarrassed no one be made fun of. And I'm like, no, it's not like that. It ain't like that. And like, oh my god, it's like that.
Oh no, yeah, like people talk about it and stuff. It's just like people who enjoy anime in the UK are very much weird people. So
Well, Gelf, if you need a really long anime to watch, you have One Piece.
Or Detective
1,000
Conan,
episodes.
or Pokemon.
Those don't count.
I heard
Yes, they
really
do.
long
do.
and like
Pokemon has been going on longer than One Piece.
Yeah, no, like, are we talking really long as in, like, it takes a really long time to get through the episode, or, like, really long
Hundreds
as in
of
it's been running
episodes.
for a long time?
Hundreds
It's
of
got
episodes.
Okay.
It's got
Pokemon
over
has
1,000 chapters. So.
Pokemon has 1,300 episodes. One Piece has 1,100, and I think Detective Conan has 1,600 episodes.
As
Well,
a
I'm
fellow
still working.
ADHDer, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Do it.
No, absolutely don't do it.
I'm
Do it.
still
I need
working on
somebody
the
to talk
Pokemon
about One
season
Piece with.
that I started when I was, like, 12.
Same.
Whew. God, I feel fucking old now.
I
Yeah.
do find it interesting that you, in like the same sentence, both called it you haven't watched the latest series yet, and then you mentioned that you hadn't seen the last 2 seasons because, like, I know usually in the UK they're referred to as series, so it's kind of interesting to me that you switched between the two.
I find myself switching between the two all the time, to be honest, and I think it depends on, like, what I'm talking about. I feel like, I don't know, like, some shows I'll call it a series. Or I think I've just figured something out in my brain. Okay, give me a second.
There you go.
Okay, so yeah, when I say series, generally I'm talking about the thing as a whole. So like, Friends, let's say, that is a TV series. And then if I'm talking about season, it's usually like you get season 1, season 2, season 3 of the series Friends.
Well, see, and that's how we do it in America, but yeah, I know series in the UK, at least for a while, was usually referred to in place of season.
Yes, yeah. So
So
you'll see it on Netflix as well on the UK version. I don't know if you'll see it on the US version, but on some of them you'll be scrolling through it, and some of them it'll say Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, and then on others it'll say Season 1, Season 2, Season 3.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so the season thing has become a lot more commonplace there too, then.
Yeah, I think
Good.
so. It's definitely... There's a lot of, like, Americanization happening, I would say.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
We've corrupted you.
Oh no, I feel bad. I just made you all,
Feel
like...
bad.
I just made you all apologize simultaneously, and, like...
Oh, no,
It's
I'm
because
just
we're
happy.
Americans.
I know! I feel bad now.
You should not. You absolutely should not feel bad. We chose this.
Yeah, we chose to be born here. Is that what you're saying, Alt?
No, we chose
Because I
to
sure
be
as
like
fuck
this.
didn't.
We chose to be like this.
Yeah, you don't need to feel bad though.
Yeah, don't feel bad.
Well, I'll do my best. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of Americanization making its way, into England. But, I mean, of course there is going to be when, we're all connected now through, mostly TikTok.
Everything.
You get
That's not where I thought that was gonna go.
Wait, what? Where did you think that was going?
I thought you were gonna say the internet. The magic. What did he call it? What did that old man call the internet? The magic tubes in the sky. And I looked at him like, I'm going to lunch. I can't be here. I gotta go.
Yeah,
Gotta leave.
yeah, that's pretty much what we're connected by.
Yeah, but I wouldn't single out TikTok as the one thing though.
That's
Well,
like
mostly
the
'cause I'm a
first thing
boomer,
that comes
so-
to my mind when I think of like social medias nowadays. It's just TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm a boomer. I'm still using Twitter and Facebook for old people, and they get a
Yeah,
whole
Twitter's gonna die
motherfuckers.
soon.
It's not gonna die. It's just gonna get really bad.
No, I cannot remember the last time I actually scrolled through Facebook.
This
good for you.
morning when I needed big titty anime girl memes, and reminder that Chainsaw Man is in fact sad. And it's like, thank you, Facebook. I needed that first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that's why I have a rule of not looking through social media in the first like half an hour that I wake up, because it'll just make me moody.
Man, that's a good rule.
Yeah, it's a really good rule. Like, I think everyone should stick to just not opening their phone for like the first hour in the day, but like I got shit to do, so like I just go with half an hour. I just don't like look through social media. Like, an hour is a bit of an
Jealous.
ask. Yeah.
I think a half an hour I can start doing.
I can't do that. I gotta know what games are on sale, what anime bullshit news I missed, and artists go, hey, we use Twitter, and I'm like, oh, they draw good. I like that, and then go about my day.
No, yeah.
Also, memes. Memes are always good in the morning.
I can just do without memes in the morning, you know? Like, I like to just have a coffee and, like, be quiet.
That sounds so wonderful, honestly. Just get that time at the start of the day to just, like, center.
Oh, seriously, that's one thing that, like, makes me very happy to be completely, like, in control of my own hours, is the fact that, like, I do not have to rush a damn thing in the morning. Like, I can get up whatever time I want, within reason, you know. I always still get up, you know, at, like, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. Oh my god. That I am recovering from work at 7 a.m.
You also have a late shift. You work until midnight.
Man, I'm supposed to work until 10, but they were like, haha, 2 hours mandatory every day. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be doing that.
It pays good. And I get to watch. I get to read manga, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean,
mostly.
That's pretty much, like, dream, right?
No. If they let me sleep under the belt, that would be great. But they were like, nah, that belt break, you gonna die.
That's dangerous, okay. Right? Yeah, see.
Welcome to America.
At least there's some health and safety in place. Just
She doesn't know. She doesn't know.
It's okay. We don't need to spoil all of her ideas about America right now.
Yeah, some of them can be nice. Let's just leave some of them.
Our food slaps.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like, I
that's it. That's all I got.
Man versus food. Some of the food that I see on there, like, yeah, I could eat that whole plate.
You might get diabetes or heart disease, but it's gonna taste good.
That's the thing, like, what is it about American food that, like, is so calorific? Like, why is it all so...
So
tons of fat.
Artificial everything. We gotta preserve it so it looks good.
Okay. So the reality of that actually partially is due to the fact that there are things that we are allowed to, well, not we, the companies are allowed to put into their food here in America that have been banned in most other countries because of how, like, dangerous they are for the body. So, like, even a lot of our sodas and stuff have an ingredient that is not allowed to be in sodas in, like, the UK. So there are a lot of those things where our country allows it because it helps it taste better or do different things, even though it could potentially harm the body. And so things do tend to be more calorific, but that's often accompanied by a potentially more dangerous as well.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when Australia had that problem with trans fats.
Yes. Yeah. And then we went, I guess we should do that too?
Yeah.
Listen, if the people... Go ahead.
I think that's why the UK has, like, put tax on sugar now.
Yeah, because America is very much run by corporations. Because our, you know, like a lot of governments, our government is very corrupt. All of the officials, the ones actually making the rules. And so not only are they getting paid to be in the position they are, but they also take payments from these corporations when a company's like, oh, they're trying to ban this thing that helps us sell stuff. We're going to pay you a bunch of money to help make sure that doesn't happen. So there are a lot of these things that are done because of corruption and not with the people's health and safety in mind.
I got one more thing to say about all this. Mickey Mouse is supposed to become public domain in, like, a year or two, Disney is going to pump trillions of dollars into the copyright law to make sure that does not happen. I promise you. How do I explain it? 'Cause
After-
do y'all have copyright law in UK?
Yeah.
So in 2 years, Mickey Mouse is supposed to become public domain. If you want to
public
use Mickey,
domain.
go ahead and do it.
Yeah, we didn't hear
Disney's-
that part.
Oh, that's my bad. Disney's gonna be like, here's a few $billion. Make sure that don't happen.
I mean, fair
They
enough.
might even go trillion.
I would.
I mean, technically, isn't Winnie the Pooh open domain right now?
Yes.
Yep, that's why that shitty movie was made.
But also, like, don't people just, like, make their own Winnie the Pooh stuff anyway? Like, Mickey Mouse as well, you know? Like, they just make their own stuff anyway, like, using that
Well,
image.
They skirt around it. You could just straight up say, I'm going to put Mickey Mouse in my thing. Like, this is here, animator number 47. Your job today is to animate Mickey Mouse doing XYZ. To have fun. Here's your $4. So,
I think she means just general normal peoples.
No, yeah,
Well,
I
yeah,
just
they
mean,
can
like, say, like, people with, like, craft stuff, you know? They just make, like, little charms with Mickey Mouse on it.
A lot of them
that can be
will,
circumvented.
but it
'Cause
is technically illegal, at least in America. And so there are companies like Disney. Disney is actually usually pretty proactive about looking for people like that and sending them cease and desists.
Like, you can't use VPNs on Hulu and Disney Plus to get other things because they're like, no. We're going to give you what we want to give you. If you want to use something else, you got to pay for it. So if you want to watch, case in point, I wanted to watch an anime, but it's only in Disney Plus Japan. I'd have to get a Disney Plus Japan subscription, so it's using my VPN. And I was like, fuck. That's stupid.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, like, they just don't want other people to, like,
Make money off
Don't
of
use
their
anything.
stuff.
I mean, yeah, it's fair enough. I can't really blame them for it.
Yeah, no, as like working for a small business and stuff, like we have some copyrights that we do have to enforce sometimes because like other people using our copyrighted stuff is direct money from us, and as a small business, like that's a big deal. Like a corporation like Disney, that's not going to really hurt them, but they still are very adamant about it. But like I get why they do it.
Oh yeah, like I've had to do it, even with the job that I do. You know, like I've had to sort of report accounts and have them removed because they're using like my picture or whatever, and it's like you don't know what they're trying to do with that account, so.
Well, and also you again have worked hard to be where you are, and so for someone else to try to take advantage of that, like it's oh my god, why can't I think of the word? I don't know, but it doesn't feel good.
No, yeah, it's kind of a kick in the face. Yeah, it's a bit like it's insulting. It's insulting because yeah, they're like kind of trying to piggyback off the hard work that you've put into something, you know, and like get to where you've got, but for free, and like without putting the work in that you had to put in to get there, you know.
Right, and it's not like they came to you and asked, like, you know, like how did you get here? Can I learn from you? Can you teach me some tricks of the trade? No, they just tried to steal what is yours and what is you to try to use that to jumpstart it.
Is that the worst part of your job?
What, having other people like steal my work?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, no. Like, definitely would not say that that's the worst part of the job. It doesn't happen like often enough for it to be like a real nuisance, I would say. I mean, it's annoying, obviously, and it's, as I say, it's insulting when it happens, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's a difficult part of the job or anything. Usually, the social medias are quite good at getting them taken down, so.
Okay.
All right. So what is the worst part of your job?
Probably the stigma around it.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely just like people thinking that I'm lazy, I don't work, that my job is easy, I get a lot of comments like our girls are living life on easy mode and stuff like that, and
Huh.
yeah. It's laughable to see things like that. And honestly, like the real life implications that being in this industry can have. Like for instance, even finding somewhere to rent. Like I struggle finding somewhere to rent now because, people don't like the job that I have, or like they see it as like it's not a real job, like.
Wait. Whoa, you just say, oh, I'm a sex worker?
Oh no. I
What is that?
learned from that
like
mistake.
Photographer.
No, I definitely learned from that mistake. I originally,
Got you.
I would tell people, oh, I make, I basically create adult content, so, essentially what they were hearing is, oh my god, I'm a big slutty porn star who's gonna, like, have, all these big, hairy, sweaty men coming in and out of, like, the apartment, for all the neighbors to see, like... I don't know.
Y'all UK people do be kind of nosy, so I could see that.
No, but yeah.
I've heard stories, and I'm like, hey, yo, my neighbors aren't even like that, and they're old.
I would sneak a peek out the window, to be fair, if I saw, all that happening, I would probably be nosy and have a look.
Nah, fuck that. Ain't got nothing to do with me. And until it got something to do with me, it's not my problem.
No, it happens all the time over here, too.
But no, yeah, I just, I learned to get around that by basically telling them now that I'm a, social media, marketing manager.
You're an influencer.
Okay.
No, definitely don't go with the influencer thing,
don't
because
say
that's
influencer.
just as
That'll
bad.
make it worse.
Right, because they'll be like, you're an influencer? Oh, like, you're not going to make enough money to consistently pay rent.
Exactly. The thing that they worry about as well is it being a consistent, wage, So they hear... oh, I'm a content creator, and they think, oh, you're not gonna actually, like, make any money from that. Like, of course you don't make any money, like...
So you gotta fib a little bit.
Yeah,
do they not?
So I just sort of, like, mesh it around a little bit. I'm like, I'm an online social media marketing manager, because technically I am.
I was like, yeah, you're not lying.
Yeah, technically I am a marketing manager, because I manage my own marketing online, It's just that is one of the many jobs within my job title.
Right.
Fair. Because I know, like, when you're trying to get houses and whatnot here, you can just show people your bank statement. They go, damn, you make how much? And I'm like, yup. I throw boxes and boxes, my guy.
Oh my god.
They're like, god damn.
That would make things so much easier than... Like, here, you've got to go through... credit checks, oh
no, we still have to do all that stuff too, but for renting, I'm just like, this is my bank statement, this is how much I make, this is how much I spend. They're like, what in the ungodly fuck? And I'm like, hi, hello.
My partner used to work at a dump, and they would get so many sex toys coming through that shit. Like, it is ridiculous how many times I would just get a video in the middle of the day, and it's just like him sending me videos of like this random dildo that they found in the big pile, and like they have to take it out of the pile as well because it's not supposed to be in that pile, so they have to handle it, they have to like pick it up and put it in a different pile. So and it's obviously like it's all men working at the dump, and like they're just all like children.
Yeah.
So you'll have like a video of them just spending like an hour playing around with this big dildo that they found.
So I know we've had some breaks and stuff, but we are getting close to the 2-hour mark on the recording, which...
No. If we go over 2 hours, Puce has to give me $10. That's the rule, remember?
Yeah, but then...
Yada.
Yeah, because you have to edit more, so that's more work for you.
Alright.
I
do think we'll need to wrap up for the night, though.
Because like I said, like, Gelf and I could probably sit here and talk forever.
Oh, yeah.
Gelf, you have been an amazing guest.
You gotta call last call. Why are you so bad at this?
I'm Fine. Last call.
I still that doesn't.
That's our
it
way of
still
asking
doesn't-
for any last thoughts.
It still doesn't work because it has to be an hour before everything closes down. Come on.
Well, we're getting ready to close down now. So in the space-time theory, it's an hour is about to transpire. We're open all day.
Okay.
I have a degree. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm lost.
What?
Well, Minka, you guys got any last thoughts?
I got one more question.
Okay.
Actually, I got two. I lied. I forgot. So, my coworker was like, "Why you do this?" But you were like, you answered that. So once it became not about money, why do you still do this?
Tell your coworker that I enjoy sex.
What?
And I get
All
to
right,
I
bet.
get to orgasm for a living. So
All right, bet.
Absurd.
She said she gets
like I literally come for a living.
for a living.
Also, I'm an
so-
exhibitionist.
Ah,
I think that's something that I forgot to mention. Like I'm an exhibitionist, so I like the thought of people watching me.
I feel
How the
that.
fuck you spell that? Wait,
EXHIBITIONIST.
exhibitionist. I don't know if you know what that is. I don't know if you know what that is.
Okay, well, your friend's not on the podcast.
I mean, I can drag her in. I can drag her into an episode. She won't care.
That can be next episode.
It's not gonna be next episode. We're talking about food next episode.
Okay, that can be the next episode. All right. Did you have your other question?
So, how hard is posing?
That's not where I thought that
That
question
is-
was going. Okay, so honestly, it varies. You have like beginner poses, and then you have like some just that are fucking ridiculous. But I would say that is what takes most of a toll on your body is posing, because you got to do it for the pictures, but you also have to make sure you're doing it for your videos. Like if you're in a certain position and you need to stay in that certain position for it to look good, you know, you gotta hold that position for a while. But yeah, it can be difficult on your spine. Because a lot of
Mine's
like
already fucked up.
a lot of what you want to see is like very curvy, and like you want to see shapes when it comes to like visually pleasing pictures. It's like when you're making shapes with your body and stuff like that, it gets tiring. I hate posing.
I was gonna say I was a photographer for a whole 20 minutes, and I'm like, "You good? You want some water?" That looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Are you new here?" I'm like, "I'm a fill-in for a fill-in," and they're like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah, it's definitely not the most fun part. But yeah, some people are just natural posers. So I think I fit into that
fun.
category.
Well, good.
Yeah.
All right. So, last call has been fulfilled. Minka, unless you have any last thoughts.
Again, I could go on forever, so.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
We'll have to have Gelf on another time if she would like it.
I'm I'm pretty good. I enjoyed the conversation. So
All right. Well, Gelf, you have been an amazing guest. Feel free to plug in all your social media right now.
yeah, no, it's
But also just, where can we find you?
so basically if you just search ohmygelf on Instagram or TikTok, you know, you will find me through there, and then my link to my OnlyFans is just ohmygelf.co.uk, and that will take you straight to my OnlyFans. So yeah, that's my domain.
Fantastic.
Thank you for
Thank
letting
you.
me plug that in there.
And
No
as for our
problem.
audience, we all hope you have a wonderful night. Please don't let the hit door hit you on the way out, and don't let it slam. It's still on its last hinges.
I got a reply.
Fine. What's your plan?
I forgot. I'm sorry.
You can always find us at the Lusty Lounge here on anywhere you can find your podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts,
Except
Apple.
Amazon, because we're a
Except
sex
for Amazon.
podcast. They were like, no.
We are also on Twitter at Lusty Lounge. And if you would like, you can also join our Discord at the Lusty Lounge. I hope everybody has a good night. Bye.
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 God, all right, bye.
Bye.